This little picture is a picture of the scene of the crime twice over. Now, the second part of twice over is that it reoccurs here at an art school, because the second scene of the crime was on returning from art school in the Christmas of 1969 Christmas, I think, on the rail ferry from Picton and landing in Wellington. Where I met a person who, unbeknownst to me, because I was raised in Hamilton, 500 miles or so to the north, and about 50 or 60 miles up the road was this little curious situation of roads, where a straight road in a gridded city ran next to a curving road, and at one point the road breaks through into the other road. But so closely are they running at that point as the second road curves into it that the intersection of lives and the intersection of roads was such that no house actually existed on the little through road. All the houses had their sides. There were 4 sides of properties there, but they had their letterboxes on the other roads, either the straight road or the curved road. And it was on one of the houses on the straight road, just one in, so one could diagonally cut across the corner, through the property, across the second property, across the road, across the intersection, and there was the house in which I was born. So, while there's a curious romance about the girl next door, in this case it is every child's worst nightmare, in that somewhat overweight female, twice my height and 4 times my body weight, assaulted me in what I've come to call rape by the traditional 3,000-year-old patriarchal definition of rapere or rapere, which means to grab, as in Alexander Pope's The Rape of the Lock, which involves the theft of a lock of woman's hair, not necessarily attached to her head at the time. So in no way is the woman the crime there, but the theft of the lock of hair. And that's called the rape of the lock, and that's in early English. So that dates the patriarchal use of the term rape, well, back to Alexander Pope. And so we could easily imagine another 50 years or 100 years or even 150 years after that. So the patriarchal age ends with the definition of rape, meaning the penetration of a woman. Now there's a film that outlines the story in America of the legally established rape of a woman by a bottle. And this was carried out by 2 women on a 3rd woman as well. So the rape object need not necessarily be penetration, need not necessarily be a man, it can be an object. And when you consider the not too long ago definition of the patriarchal use of the term, it can also involve the non-penetrative rape of a man, the grabbing of a man's private parts. So that with this understanding we overthrow one of the major bases of offence and claimancy of feminism. It is overthrown, it is defeated, because men can be raped as well. And it is in the establishment of this fact that I make this video of this map of my life, because it occurred to me twice, and I continued in a long-term relationship with that person. I lived with my own rapist, if you like. So that we can consider also the anthropological use of the term rape, as in the Kula series of ceremonies, as in the tapioca ceremony, where women, gangs of women, waylay and rape any men. They hold him down to the ground, stimulate him against his will, remembering Susan Brown Miller's book, Against Our Will. So the issue is against one's will. It's not about penetration, it's about the violation of someone's will. And we speak of this in such expressions as the rape of a country, the invasion of a country perhaps. It's not about invasiveness, it's about grabbing land that doesn't belong to you, that is privately owned by another set of persons. So this too, in the language of civilization and of culture, very broadly based, is also a legitimate use of the word. So my own rape involved the stimulation and abuse of a child of 3 or 4 years of age, who then moved away and subsequently re-met this person, who continued virtually in the same manner. So this is my claim, and this is what a good deal of my work is about. So this movie is my record of establishing that fact. And if you see all my subsequent work, you'll see that now it is moving rather fiercely in that direction. It is not only about rape and the rape of men and men's rights and the rape of the legal standing, the cultural respect of men, but it is a number of issues of great concern to the masculist community and men everywhere, and by implication women as well, and children, and the future, and the politics of our desire, the politics of our philosophies, the politics of our policies, the politics of our economics. And these are examined in my website, masculist-art.com, and other such places. There is no apology for the fierceness of these views at this point. Understandably, you can see I'm really quite angry about the whole thing. But I've already made steps of distancing when it comes to repeating any ideas a second time. The first outing is always a little rough and rude and crude and raw, because it is extremely painful and terrifying and horrifying to me. Nevertheless, I have pressed on, and I feel now very much more a free man. Thank you. This is Philip O'Sullivan speaking in the Massey test room, making this little video about this one work, which has great importance to me, and I will probably revisit this type of image, this type of map, with expressionism or other symbology of various kinds. Thank you.